Welcome to the Global WarWatch Network. Some outlets are spinning the Raytheon SM-2 missile deal like it's just another routine defense contract. But the numbers, the strategic locations, and the timeline reveal a much bigger story the media isn't fully unpacking. Today, we're dissecting the recent Raytheon SM-2 missile contract, an agreement that, on the surface, looks like standard defense procurement. But beneath that holds fascinating insights into global security, the surprising evolution of military technology, and the intricate dance of international cooperation. We're going to pull apart the raw facts, trace the money, and truly understand the implications for maritime defense around the world.
Indeed. And this contract isn't just about Raytheon getting another order for missiles. It sends significant signals about the urgent current demand for critical interceptors and also the strategic importance of modernizing existing systems and, the increasingly intertwined web of allied defense. We'll be looking not just at what these upgrades entail, but where the work is happening, why this particular deal is so crucial right now, and what it tells us about the future of naval power.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We're talking about a significant financial commitment here. What are the headline figures that immediately grabbed our attention, and what kind of contract are we looking at exactly?
Right. So the core of this agreement is a $258,742,330 cost plus incentive fee contract awarded to Raytheon on August 16th, 2025. And this isn't just for, cranking out missiles. It's specifically for the engineering, manufacturing, and development. For the Stand-Up Missile 2, the Block ICU all-up round. And if all the options are exercised, the total value could climb to $263,137,090. Completion is expected by September 2031.
Okay, a cost plus incentive fee contract. Can you just briefly explain what that means?
Sure, it basically means the government covers Raytheon's allowable costs for development and production, plus a set fee. But the incentive part means there's potential for an extra payment if Raytheon meets certain targets like finishing early or maybe even coming in under budget. It's often used for complex R&D where costs are tricky to nail down up front, but it does put a fair bit of the financial risk on the taxpayer while trying to incentivize efficiency.
Right. And this leads us right into one of the most, well, intriguing aspects.
Hmm.
This contract wasn't competitively procured. The official language cited only one responsible source. For our listeners, what does that actually mean in the world of defense procurement, and what are the deeper implications?
Yeah, that's a critical point. When the DoD cites only one responsible source under U.S. Code 3204A1, it essentially means they've decided Raytheon is the only company qualified for this specific vital capability. It really highlights a profound strategic reliance on one contractor for what's clearly seen as an essential asset.
A single source.
Exactly. And we've seen some public commentary on this. Jonathan, for instance, expressed some skepticism about these kinds of headline wins, suggesting it's less a competition and more like hands on a plate with pink bows. It definitely raises an important question for you to think about. What are the long-term implications of relying so heavily on sole source methods for innovation, for market dynamics, and ultimately for taxpayer value? You get continuity, sure, and specialized expertise, but you also lose that competitive pressure, which can affect price and maybe even the speed of future upgrades.
That makes sense. So, beyond the big dollar figures and this sole source approach, let's talk location. Where is all this work actually going to happen? What does that geographic spread tell us about its wider impact, economically and strategically?
While the lion's share, 72%, will be done in Tucson, Arizona. That's a major hub for Raytheon missiles and defense, highlighting their specialized facilities there. But significant shares also go elsewhere. Simsbury, Connecticut gets 7%. Interestingly, Wolverhampton in the UK gets 3%, and Salt Lake City, Utah also gets
The
3%.
UK. That's notable.
It is. And then smaller bits are spread across quite a few other U.S. states: North Logan, Utah, McKinney, Texas, Warrington and Bristol in Pennsylvania, Hauppauge and Coxsackie, New York, Tampa, Florida, San Jose, California, and Anniston, Alabama. So this isn't just a military thing, it's direct economic activity. It means specialized jobs, stronger supply chains across the U.S. and within a key ally, the U.K.
Right, that UK piece signifies that transatlantic defense link.
Absolutely. Especially important post-Brexit, maybe.
Hmm.
It reinforces shared capabilities, mutual reliance, plus spreading the work geographically might reduce risks from, say, localized disruptions, and it lets them tap into different regional expertise.
Okay. And the money itself, the funding, it's not all coming from one single budget line, is it? We
Yeah.
often see a mix of these big deals.
That's right. It's quite diverse, which is pretty typical and tells you a bit about the priorities. At the time of the award, it included $52,054,849 in fiscal 2025 U.S. Navy RDT&E funds. That's research, development, test, and evaluation. There was also $9,071,456 from the previous fiscal year, 2024, Navy RDT&E funds, and those notably expire at the end of the fiscal year.
So using up funds before they disappear suggests some urgency.
Could well do. It highlights immediate needs, perhaps. And crucially, there's a significant chirp, 18,473,766 in foreign military sales FMS funding specifically for Canada.
Canada too. Interesting.
Yes, so this multi-source funding shows both strong domestic investment in the R&D side and a very tangible commitment to international collaboration, shared interests, burden sharing among allies, that sort of thing.
Okay, so we peeled back the financial and logistical layers. Let's pivot now to the missile itself. What exactly is the SM-2 system, and why is this Block ICU variant such a big deal? What's actually being upgraded?
Right. Well, the SM-2, the Standard Missile 2, has been a real cornerstone anti-air warfare asset AEW for U.S. Navy Aegis cruisers and destroyers for, well, decades. Think of it as the main defensive shield for the fleet. Provides critical firepower against fast, maneuverable anti-ship missiles and aircraft. It's a workhorse, very reliable.
A proven system.
Exactly. But the Block ICU variant isn't just, routine maintenance, it's a major enhancement. Its main goal, according to Raytheon's president of naval power, Barbara Borgonovi, is to add further capability to this proven system, ensuring its relevance in modern maritime threat environments. So this isn't just replacing old parts, it's about making it much more effective against today's threats, which are more sophisticated, agile, sometimes asymmetric.
You mentioned major upgrades. Can you break down the tech advancements in this new variant? What really stands out to you as the most impactful change?
Okay, what's really fascinating, and I think it's a bit of a game changer, is replacing the old semi-active missile seeker with a dual-mode seeker. It's both semi-active and active. This new seeker tech comes directly from the proven AMRAAM 120 air-to-air missile seeker.
AMRAAM, okay.
Yeah, and our source, Nick, who tracks these systems very closely, highlighted this as a key improvement. An active seeker gives the missile its own radar, essentially.
Right, so it doesn't need the ship to paint the target the whole way.
Precisely. It makes it far more autonomous once launched. Tactically, that's huge. It frees up the launching ship's radar systems to maybe engage other targets, track new threats, or even just focus on maneuvering faster. Big boost for survivability in a busy fight.
Got it. What else?
Well, the Block ACU also features a new dorsal fin design and a thrust vectoring jet tab assembly. That gives it much better control over its trajectory right as it leaves the launcher. Better agility, better maneuverability, lets it adjust course quickly to hit faster, unpredictable targets.
So more nimble.
Yep. And critically, there's a new guidance section electronics unit, the GSEU. This directly tackles obsolescence issues. In complex systems like this, older electronics can become unreliable, hard to source parts for, so this upgrade ensures the SM2's longevity and keeps it reliable. Patrick C., another sharp commenter we follow, noted that all these upgrades combined make the SM2 even closer to the SM6 in capability.
Closer to the SM6. That is a significant leap.
It really is. The SM6, for context, is known for its longer range and even its ability to engage some ballistic missile threats in their final phase. So moving the SM2 towards that kind of capability, it's smart engineering, extending the life and punch of an existing trusted asset.
And this increased demand, this big investment in SM2s, it's not just theoretical planning, is it? It's driven by what's happening out in the real world.
Absolutely. Barbara Borgonovi from Raytheon explicitly said this contract signals the increased demand given the critical role these interceptors are playing for the U.S. and our allies. And this isn't abstract stuff. The SM-2 has proven its worth on the front lines very recently in high-stakes situations.
The Red Sea incident.
Exactly. In early 2024, the U.S. Navy confirmed that SM-2s were fired in the Red Sea. They were used to intercept anti-ship missiles and also drones launched by Houthi rebels targeting commercial shipping lanes. That directly shows its continued vital relevance against the kinds of contemporary asymmetric threats that directly impact global trade and security right now. It proves that even a system with decades of service, if you modernize it smartly, remains indispensable. It can counter everything from advanced missiles to drone swarms.
Given that real-world proof and the ongoing investment, what does this widespread adoption mean for allied navies? Especially with that FMS funding we talked about for Canada. What about global interoperability?
Yeah, this really touches on collective defense and having standardized capabilities, which is fundamental to alliance strength. The SM-2 has a massive international footprint. Over 12,000 have been delivered to the U.S. and allied navies over the years. Current operators include Australia, Canada, Germany, Japan, South Korea, the Netherlands, Spain, Taiwan. Quite a list.
A lot of key partners.
Definitely. And looking ahead, Chile and Denmark are also expected to get them. This broadens its reach even further, cementing its role as a key allied air defense system. That foreign military sales funding for Canada in this specific contract really underscores the collaborative nature of this. It means these countries are investing in a common, proven, and now increasingly capable defense asset.
So everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet, so to speak.
Pretty much. It strengthens collective defense capabilities, makes interoperability much easier. Think training, logistics, coordinated naval operations around the globe. It's a commitment to a shared security architecture.
Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. We've got the non-competitive contract, the specific tech upgrades, the global deployment, the real-world use. What does this entire picture mean for us as listeners trying to stay informed about the often complex world of global security? It feels like more than just one missile deal.
It really is. If you connect all these dots, this contract illustrates several critical strategic points. First, it's a clear commitment to continuously investing in proven existing defense systems. It highlights that sometimes upgrading what you have, making a reliable asset better, can be just as crucial, maybe more cost-effective in the near term, than chasing entirely new, perhaps unproven technologies.
Evolution rather than revolution sometimes.
Sort of, yes. Second, it definitely reflects an evolving threat landscape. Adaptable, multi purpose missiles like the SM-2 are still vital for protecting ships against a whole spectrum of modern threats, from advanced cruise missiles right down to drones. And finally, it powerfully highlights those deep collaborative relationships between the U.S. and its allies in maintaining maritime security. It's about ensuring these trusted systems not only stay viable, but are actively enhanced to meet modern challenges. It underlines a global, coordinated effort for stability and defense. And of course, it reminds us of that reliance on specialized industrial expertise shown by the Sole Source Award and how that shapes what capabilities are available down the line.
That brings us to a final thought for you, our listener, to consider. How might these ongoing focused upgrades to established systems, rather than solely developing entirely new ones, reshape the future of naval power and geopolitical stability in an era of rapidly evolving threats? Does it signal a new paradigm of defense where resilience and adaptability of existing platforms take precedence? Something to think about. Thank you for your time and participation in this discussion. If you found this information valuable, please like, share, and subscribe to the Global WarWatch Network. We'd also love to hear your thoughts, so please share them in the comment section and join us on social media. The links are provided in the description.